It's the week before Christmas and you have suddenly realised you haven't bought anything for the gamer in your life. Well, don't panic. We may have a good suggestion for you. In fact, 3 good suggestions for you of great games that came out this year. All of them big blockbusters, but all of them really interesting in different ways. And the first of these is Dishonored. Created by French studio Arcane and likely to top many Game of the Year lists in 2012, Dishonored is an atmospheric steampunk adventure set in the plague-riddled city of Dunwall. You play as Corvo, the chief bodyguard to a powerful empress, but now an assassin out to kill the men responsible for her murder. Mixing stealthy exploration with compelling combat mechanics, it's an engrossing and intelligent experience. Here with me to talk about Dishonored and all the other games is Lucy James, a freelance writer and presenter about video games. Lucy, what do you think of Dishonored?
I really enjoyed Dishonored. I think it's really late in this console life cycle. I mean, you know, next year we're going to get all new consoles and things. And it's a brand new IP. And it's so interesting. It's kind of like a time period I really love. So, you know, like Jack the Ripper, kind of Victorian, and it's really, you know, Victorian London, Victorian Edinburgh, you can really tell.
The interesting thing about it is Victor Antonov, the art director, spent 4 years basically coming up with the concept art for this world. And yeah, he took elements of Edinburgh, elements of London, put them together and he's come up with this kind of vast, weird steampunk version of Victoria full of plague victims and rats and political intrigue, and everywhere you go, I think the fascinating thing about the world for me was that everywhere you go there's always characters standing around talking and you can sort of listen in on their conversations and you can find bits of books and read them and learn about the lore of the game, because it is very much like it's a game that you kind of totally immerse yourself in, isn't it? I think that's the key thing.
So one of my favourite things is you have the heart, sort of the telltale heart kind of thing, and it beats when you know, collectibles like relics and bones are near. But it also, if you point it at someone, you can find out their deepest, darkest secrets.
Yeah, and I think it's probably one of the only games I've ever played with a severed bodily organ as a pickup. And yeah, you get this heart, and if you point it at anyone, it tells you, any character, it sort of tells you their motivations, doesn't it? And I think there's a few people I've spoken to that play this game, and the way they decide if they're going to kill a character or not is by pointing this heart at them, and then it whispers to them what their character's motivations are. Like, it will say, oh, this guard's killed his whole family, and you think, well, okay, you know, he deserves to die then. But others, it will say, you know, he's got a wife and kids at home and he's only doing this to pay the bills, and you think, I better spare him. So that was Dishonored, and the next game is similar in some ways but very different in others, and it's Far Cry 3. Washed up alone on a desert island crawling with sadistic pirates, everyman hero Jason Brody has no choice but to master his environment and become a proficient killer. That's the setup to Far Cry 3, the latest in the Ubisoft series of open-world shooters. And while Far Cry 2 strayed a little too far off the beaten shoot-'em-up track, Number 3 merges its sandbox and narrative elements perfectly. Whether you're hunting wild boar, exploring ancient caves, or blowing up enemy camps, it's a compelling and convincing adventure. So Far Cry 3, it seems like, is the premise the gap year that's gone horribly wrong? The gap year that's ended in massive multiple murder? Is that the idea behind it?
You're kind of you're with all your friends on a tropical island and everything's nice and you do all these fun things. You go to bars and nightclubs and you do a bit of jet skiing, and then you get captured by pirates and ransomed off. You meet the tribe, the Rakyat tribe, who are already on the island, and you help them, you know, by doing some odd jobs for them, and they teach you the ways of the tatau, which means basically you just get a tattoo, but it's the way of the warrior kind of, and you can. That's the RPG element, that you can increase your skill trees and improve, and you know, become powerful enough to take down Vass and his band of merry men.
Band of merry murderers. I mean, what interests me about this game is there's some similarities with Borderlands 2, which came out this year, because it's this whole idea of taking the first-person shooter and making it, adding depth and adding customability. Is that a word? No.
At the start, you're very limited in what you can do, and you're just kind of it does make it tense, and especially you've just escaped, they're all chasing you down this gully, it's really exciting, and everyone, you know, you're full of adrenaline, and then you've got a gun with about, 10 bullets.
Yeah, so you can't, yeah, exactly, you don't get that sense of immediate power, and and the other good thing, interesting thing about this game is that the enemy characters, especially Vass, the leader of the enemies, they feel a little bit more, even though they're all psychos and killers, they feel a little bit more rounded, don't they, in this game?
Vass is an incredible antagonist. He's actually really terrifying.
Up there, way up in the skies, you thought you had your finger on the trigger. But I'm here. You hit the ground.
And for our last game that we'd like to recommend to you for Christmas, it's a very different feel to this one. There's no guns, at least I've not unlocked any yet. And this is Forza Horizon.
It's a beautiful day here in sunny Colorado, and we're here at the Horizon Festival getting ready to throw it down tonight.
Take the music and buzz of a decent festival, add dozens of beautifully modelled cars and a large chunk of Colorado to explore, and you get Forza Horizon. This is a vast open-world racer, which takes the pristine handling model of the previous Forza titles, but rips out some of the petrol head excesses. Instead, you get a free-form driving odyssey that's part racer, part social gathering, and part virtual holiday.
Forza series is essentially Microsoft's answer to Gran Turismo, I think, isn't it? They're the studio that does it, Turn 10, are massive car buffs. They live, drink and eat and sleep cars, and it really comes across in their games. Forza Horizon is a sort of a spin-off, isn't it? It's by a company called Playground Games based in Leamington Spa, and they've got staff who they've managed to get in from some staff from Codemasters, some staff from Bizarre Creations, who made the brilliant Blur, which is massively underrated, I think. And it's got a really different feel, essentially, hasn't it?
Well, the whole premise is that you're set. You're going to a music festival, but it's also a car festival. And so you work your way through and you unlock different things, you unlock different cars. And the thing about Forza Horizon is building your relationship with your car, which I really like about it. It's not just, I'll unlock the best car and, this one, scrappy. No, you really build on this one car, and you can trade it in if you want, and you can get a better one. But there's all the modification, that Forza's so well known for, but it's really personal as well. Yeah,
it's true. It's like it's almost like the first like car-based romantic comedy video games, and it really is like that. You feel as though each car, each car you kind of develop a relationship with. Don't you? You can upgrade them a lot, and then you get to this point where you almost have to move on to a different class of car, and you sort of feel. You always feel sad, don't you?
Like your first car in real life, and you're like,
exactly.
The memories we've had.
Yeah, exactly.
The speed cameras we've raced against.
Well, my first car was a mustard yellow Volvo, which wouldn't have gone through any speed cameras. So I hope you found at least one of those games suitable for your Christmas buying needs. If they weren't, then we're actually running a top 25 games of the year on the Guardian Games site at the moment, so feel free to go there and have a look. In the meantime, goodbye and have a lovely Christmas.